Once again, welcome to the World of Sewing. Today, our topic is simple knitting and crocheting. Get your notes and pen to put down some points that will help you. Objective, that is what you are supposed to know at the end of the lesson. Number one, meaning of knitting and crocheting. 2. Uses of knitting and crocheting. 3. Knitting and crocheting tools. 4. Should be able to identify common articles that can be knitted and crocheted. 5. Differences and similarity of knitting and crocheting. And finally, caring for knitted and crocheted items. What does a knitting mean? Knitting means to work thread of wood or other materials in interlocking stitches using a pair of knitting needle. It is used in many types of garments, and knitting may be done by hand or by machine. What is crocheting? Crocheting means to work thread or wood or other material in producing patterns using the crocheting hook. Uses of simple knitting and crocheting. What do we use all these items for? 1. They are used to produce personal and household articles. You can make use of your cotton, you can make use of a small purse, you can make them a bag. Number 2, some people earn living from selling the articles made from them. Maybe by the time you made a shawl, you made a blanket or sweater, you can sell it and you make money from it. That is what some people does for living. Number 3, then they can also be used as an hobby or for pleasure. That is, you just take a liking in doing them. Knitting and crochet tools. That is the material that you are going to use to make knitting and crocheting. 1. Ball of wool for knitting and crocheting. 2. A small pair of scissors for cutting wood. 3. Knitting needle for knitting. You can see them in the picture. 4. Crochet hook can make use of size 2. 5. A tape measuring for measuring lengths. And 6. A small bag for keeping the equipment. All these are the tools that you are going to use for knitting and crocheting. Common articles that can be knitted. What are the common articles? We have so many of them, but we are going to mention some few here. 1. Scarf. 2. Sweater. 3. Bonnets. 4. Boots. 5. Coin purse. Article that can be made through crocheting. Let's look at them. 1. You can make headrest. 2. Shawl. 3. Socks. 4. Table mats. 5. Mufflers. Like I told you earlier on, they have a lot of articles that you can make from doing knitting and crocheting. But the difference between knitting and crocheting. Learning a new craft can be exciting, especially when it comes to knitting and crocheting, and dreaming about all the inspiring projects you can make. I know a lot of you are very excited about this, and you will have a lot of visions of what items you are planning to make. You may prefer one technique over the other, or you may enjoy knitting and crocheting equally. Both crafts use needle or hook to manipulate loops of yarn to create items from sweater, blanket, art, and toys. The two yard crafts share many similarities and common elements, but they are also quite different in terms of techniques and results. Knitting and crocheting both require similar skill set, such as hand eye coordination, that is making use of your hand and your eye at the same time, and eye for colors and design, and affiliate for fiber, that is having a tolerance for the material and the ability to patiently plan a project from start to finish. Between knitting and crocheting, knitting has two pointy needle. It is done by hand, machine, or loom. And also a drop stitch can cause unraveling, that is, it can cause it to lose. While crochet, it has single crochet hook. It is always done by hand and is less likely to lose. Crochets use a single hook to hook the loops together directly on the piece, and this is what makes it to be easier to work with than knitting. Similarities. Knitting and crochet use yarn to create item. That is the one similarity between them. And also, as a rule, they use the same type, the same basic amount of yarn for similar projects like sweater, short, art, and so on. Here for our knitted and crocheted items. Caring for your hand knitted and crocheted item is as important as a step making them. As you are trying to make them, it's also important to take care of them. Handmade items can become treasured and last for many years with the proper care. Improper storage and laundry are the most common causes of damage to crocheted and knitted items, and they often result of them being ruined. The following tips can help greatly to extend the life of your items. Care for your hand knitted and crocheted items. We start with storing. Unused knitted or crocheted items should be clean and stored in closed plastic bags. Why? For you to keep them clean and be free from dust. Don't let them hang on the floor. Don't drop them on the chair so that you can avoid them being dusted. Never store them with items that contain zipper or button that can cause damage. Also, it is better to fold your knit or crochet sweater to avoid stretch when you hang them. You know that when you use hanger to hang them, it can cause the sweater to stretch. So for you to avoid them, just fold it and keep them in your wardrobe. To laundry. Laundry is an important factor in caring for your hand knitted and crochet. Make sure to check yard labels for laundering instruction. There are plenty washable yards available, including acrylic, superwash wood, cotton, which can usually be washed on a gentle cycle in the washing machine, whether in warm or cold water. They are easy to wash. And most wood items should only be hand washed. That is to wash with hand. You can look at the picture there. You see the labeling, hand wash in cold water. End of today's class. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Know that knit and crochet help you to practice patience and creativities. That is, as you go more deeper into knit and crochet, you are going to have patience, You are going to have an idea to develop a project of your own, a design of your own. And at the end of it, it will give you a special feelings of accomplished. I can tell you, with patience and practice, you will get there. Don't forget that practice makes perfect. Do you want to learn how to knit and crochet? Join me in the next class. Do your assignments and get your tools ready for more practical work. Bye.